Let's say if I'm sad and I suppress that sadness and I don't feel it and I don't worry about it and I don't think about it, I'm suppressing it. I show up and everyone thinks I'm happy. I could put a smile on my face, but on the inside, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. It does not only suppress those emotions, but it suppresses all of you. Suppresses all of your energy. It suppresses the happiness, the passion, the fulfillment, the vitality in you. So ultimately, it suppresses who you are.
The first and best victory is to conquer self. Welcome to the Conqueror Approach, a journey of self-mastery to cultivate our faith, mindset, wellness, and to allow our light to shine upon the world. Brought to you by me, your host, faithful believer, U.S. Navy submarine veteran and coach, Moussa Mikhail. Let's conquer.
Welcome back to the Conqueror Approach. Thank you so much for tuning in. This episode, I want to talk about the importance of self-awareness. Now, self-awareness precedes all change. Self-awareness is what allows us to see what is in our way, the obstacles, the hindrances, and shine that light on those areas of our life that is preventing us from living our purpose and sharing our gifts with the world. Now, it's not always easy. I understand that. And it's hard work sometimes because sometimes we avoid it. There's resistance. Sometimes we don't want to look at it. You know, if we're dealing with financial troubles, which I've been there, we don't want to look at the bank account. We don't want to look at our budget. We don't want to look at those bills because it's hard. It's hard to look at sometimes. It's hard to sit down and reflect deeply. We're so bombarded with messages and advertisements, programs, and social media, and there's just so much endless input to distract us, feeling like we're not good enough, whatever the case is, distracting us from what we truly need to do, trying to absorb your attention. Everything is trying to steal your attention and to tell you why you're incomplete and why you need this and why you need that to feel better about yourself. But the truth is, we need to attain stillness. We need to be quiet enough to look inward and identify what is working. What am I doing that is working? What are my wins? What is productive for me? What am I enjoying? Right? It's not only being self-aware on the bad things and beating yourself up about it, but what is going well for me? What are the small wins? Because you do so much in a day, but do you actually give yourself any credit for it? I remember a few days ago, I had a massive to-do list and I got most of it done, but I was upset that I didn't do those 3 things. I didn't give myself credit for the 10 things I did accomplish that day. I was just upset about the last 3 things. Now, Carl Jung has a quote: "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will run your life and you'll call it fate." And it's extremely powerful. It's extremely true. Most of our life is unconscious. Most of our life, we're being distracted. We're being run by our habits. And we're not taking a hard look at those habits. What habits are working for me and what habits are not? What is limiting me? What is hindering me? What is the obstacle that's preventing me from being fully who I was meant to be? What is stopping me from sharing my gifts? What is stopping me from feeling a sense of fulfillment in my life? And what can I do about it? With self-awareness, when we take that time to reflect, to journal, to meditate, we can identify our emotions. And if we can identify our emotions, we can communicate better. If we can communicate better, we can receive more support. We can eliminate all the fighting and anger and violence and other ineffective things that are rooted in miscommunication. With self-awareness, we can understand our body. We can understand when a situation or a person is draining our energy versus giving us life, versus energizing us. We can identify when we need more rest. We can identify that this headache, this pain, this stomach pain, this rash, this whatever this is, that's a signal. My body is alarming me, and I'm ignoring it or suppressing it with pills and drugs and whatever the case is. We can identify when we need to rest more. We can identify what truly gives us energy, what brings us alive, our passions, and we can identify ways to give that and serve others by doing what gives us life. Self-awareness is what allows you to stop, to reflect, and ask yourself, is this effective? Is this the best use of my time? Is this going to serve me and my body? Is this going to serve others? Is this what I should be doing right now? We have to pay attention to those signals. It's like driving a vehicle and you have the check engine light come on and you say, oh, that's nice. Let me put some tape over it so I don't see it. No, that's not going to be effective. Let me identify what caused this light. What is the issue? What is the cause? What is the root cause? Because I could do nothing about it, but it might lead to a bigger problem. It might lead to a problem so big that my vehicle is not drivable after a while. It's almost as ridiculous as sitting in your house, enjoying a cup of coffee, reading a book, or watching your favorite show, just relaxing, when you start to see a little bit of smoke coming from behind you. And then you hear your fire alarm go off. And it's loud and obnoxious. And you're just like, oh, I really like this coffee. I'm going to finish the show. Let me finish this episode. And then I could deal with that. There's some things in life where you can postpone, you can settle, you can calm down to evaluate a clear-headed state. But there's other things that are like burning fires that if you don't address, if you don't resolve immediately or as soon as you can, then it'll just overtake you. What in life has overtaken you to the point where you don't care anymore? Where you stopped trying? Where you gave up on your dreams and your goals? What has gotten you suppressed? When we suppress those emotions and those feelings in our heart, it not only suppresses those specific emotions. Let's say if I'm sad and I suppress that sadness and I don't feel it and I don't worry about it and I don't think about it, I'm suppressing it. I show up and everyone thinks I'm happy. I could put a smile on my face, but on the inside, I'm sad. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. It does not only suppress those emotions, but it suppresses all of you. Suppresses all of your energy. It suppresses the happiness, the passion, the fulfillment, the vitality in you. So ultimately, it suppresses who you are, your spirit. And that is preventing you from showing up and giving all of yourself to the people you love and the world and even yourself. Take a look. Take the time to evaluate. Spend a few minutes today and just evaluate. How are my finances? How am I feeling? How's my emotions? How's my mental health? How's my physical health? Where am I hurting? Physically, emotionally, spiritually? Where do I feel disconnected? Where do I feel apathy? Get that clarity. Once you have that clarity, you have a strong sense of identity. With that identity, you develop confidence. With that confidence, you'll be able to take more action. With that action, you'll lead to great habits in your life and ultimately let your light shine and give your authentic gifts to the world. Much love. Thank you for tuning in, and be on the lookout for my upcoming course in self-awareness. Again, just tune into this course. It's going to be a beautiful, powerful, empowering course totally online, that's going to go through self-awareness in a much deeper and effective way. Stay tuned, and God bless you. That is all for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you found any value in this episode, someone you know will also. Please share, subscribe, leave a rating and review so we can reach more people, have a farther ripple, and a larger impact. Stay grateful. I appreciate you. And remember, you are a conqueror.